In 2022, the Morrison family moved into their dream home in Riverside, California. For 3 years, they lived normal lives, unaware that someone was living in the walls of their house. Someone who knew their routines, ate their food, and watched their every move. It wasn't until their neighbor's security camera captured something impossible, 5 people leaving a house where only 4 people lived, that the horrifying truth was revealed. Before you watch this video, don't forget to subscribe to Beneath Stories, because sometimes the most terrifying threats are hiding in plain sight, right inside your own home. August 2022. David and Sarah Morrison found their dream home in Riverside, California. The 1970s colonial on Maple Street had 4 bedrooms, spacious living areas, and a large backyard perfect for their children, 12-year-old Emma and 8-year-old Jake. The house had been on the market for 6 months, priced below comparable properties. Realtor Margaret Chin explained the previous owners had relocated suddenly for work and were motivated to sell quickly. The Hendersons lived here 15 years, Chin said. They took excellent care of the property. David loved the finished basement for his home office. Sarah appreciated the updated kitchen. The children were excited about their own rooms and the mature backyard trees. House inspection revealed no issues. Electrical system updated, plumbing good, structure solid. The Morrisons made an offer that was accepted within 24 hours. Moving in was seamless. The house felt comfortable immediately. Emma decorated her room with fairy lights. Jake set up his Lego collection. David converted the basement into his office with multiple monitors. Everything was perfect. Too perfect. During their first months, the Morrison family experienced minor oddities they attributed to settling into a new home. Food disappeared faster than expected. Did someone finish the leftover pizza? Sarah would ask. Not me, Emma would reply. Jake would shake his head. David would shrug. Maybe we ate more than we remembered. Hot water ran out quicker than it should for 4 people. David checked the water heater, functioning normally. Small items went missing, Sarah's pen, Emma's hair ties, Jake's toy cars. More puzzling were the sounds. Soft footsteps at night when everyone was asleep. Gentle creaking from upstairs when the family was downstairs. Running water when no one was using the bathroom. Old houses make noise, David explained. Wood settling, pipes expanding. It's normal. But Sarah, who worked hospital night shifts and slept during the day, noticed the sounds had patterns. They occurred at specific times and corresponded with the family's schedule. By spring 2023, oddities increased. The Wi-Fi password needed changing repeatedly because unknown devices kept connecting. David ran security scans but found no external intrusion. Someone must be guessing our password, he told Sarah. I'll make it more complex. Even with complicated passwords, unauthorized devices continued accessing their network. David became obsessed with cybersecurity, installing multiple firewalls. Food disappearances became more noticeable. Entire meals' worth of leftovers vanished overnight. Fresh groceries would be missing items by dinner time. The children accused each other of secret snacking. Jake's eating all the good snacks, Emma complained. No, I haven't. Jake protested. Emma's lying. Personal items went missing then reappeared in unexpected places. Sarah's nursing badge in Jake's toy box. David's glasses in the kitchen pantry. Emma's diary under her parents' bed. Are you playing pranks? Sarah asked during a family meeting. Both children denied moving belongings. Sarah's jewelry started appearing in different rooms, arranged in careful patterns as if someone was examining the pieces. The truth might have remained hidden if not for neighbor Frank Rodriguez. The retired police detective lived across the street and had installed extensive security cameras after neighborhood break-ins. In July 2023, Rodriguez reviewed footage to investigate why his motion sensors triggered at odd hours. He noticed something strange about the Morrison house. Cameras showed usual family activity, David leaving at 8 a.m., Sarah departing for hospital shifts, children playing in the backyard. But occasionally, Rodriguez noticed an extra figure. At first, he thought it was a visiting relative. But the additional person appeared when the Morrison family was away. The figure stayed partially obscured, avoiding well-lit areas. Rodriguez began paying closer attention. What he discovered was disturbing. The extra person appeared to be living around the Morrison house. They emerged when the family was away, took items from the backyard, and seemed to enter and exit through areas not visible to cameras. Most shocking was footage from a day when the entire Morrison family was visiting Sarah's parents. Rodriguez's cameras clearly showed someone moving inside the Morrison house, visible through windows. The person was cooking in the kitchen and moving freely through living areas. Rodriguez struggled with how to approach the Morrisons. As a retired detective, he knew someone living secretly in their home was a serious safety threat. He approached David one evening when he was checking mail. "David, I need to talk about something important," Rodriguez said. "I think you might have an intruder situation." David initially dismissed the concern. "I haven't noticed anything missing or signs of break-ins." "That's what makes this unusual," Rodriguez explained. "This person seems to be living in your house, not stealing from it. They know your schedules and are careful not to be detected." Rodriguez showed David the footage. The recordings were clear, someone was accessing the Morrison house regularly when the family was away. David's face went pale watching the videos. "Who is this? How are they getting in?" "I don't know," Rodriguez admitted. "But they seem very familiar with your house. They move around like they know exactly where everything is." David called Sarah home early from work. That evening, they reviewed all Rodriguez's footage together. The Morrison family, with Rodriguez and 2 police officers, conducted a thorough house search the next morning. They looked for hidden entrances, false walls, spaces where someone could hide. In the basement office, they found the first clue. Behind a tall bookshelf, scratches on the wall suggested the shelf had been moved repeatedly. When they pulled it away, they discovered a small door painted to match the wall. The door was barely 4 feet tall and 2 feet wide, large enough to crawl through but easily overlooked. It appeared original to house construction, probably for utility access. Beyond the door was a narrow crawlspace running between basement walls. The space was cramped but navigable, connecting to similar spaces throughout the house. Following the crawlspace system, they discovered it connected to a larger room built between the basement and first floor. The room was approximately 8 by 12 feet, with just over 5 feet ceiling height. The hidden room was furnished and clearly inhabited. The secret room was a complete living space, meticulously organized. It contained a narrow bed with clean bedding, shelves stocked with food and water, and a small camping toilet. Battery-powered LED lights provided illumination. Most disturbing were surveillance materials. The room contained notebooks filled with detailed observations about the Morrison family's routines, habits, and conversations. Neat, methodical handwriting documented everything from breakfast foods to TV shows. Monday, Sarah works 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. David leaves 8:15 a.m. Emma piano lesson 4 p.m. Jake video games until 6 p.m. Family dinner 7:30 p.m. Notes went back nearly a year, covering their entire time in the house. The detail level was extraordinary and deeply unsettling. Among belongings, they found missing Morrison family items. Sarah's jewelry, David's glasses, Emma's hair ties, Jake's toy cars, carefully arranged on shelves like trophies. Most shocking was a collection of hundreds of photographs. Pictures of the Morrison family taken without their knowledge from various hiding spots. Photos of them eating, watching TV, sleeping, even bathing. Personal belongings provided clues about the intruder's identity. Among items was a driver's license for Marcus Henderson, the 34-year-old son of the house's previous owners. Police records showed Marcus had mental illness history and had been reported missing by his family 8 months earlier. His parents had filed multiple missing person reports. Rodriguez contacted the Henderson family in Arizona. When reached, Marcus's mother Patricia broke down crying. "We've been looking everywhere," she said. "He disappeared before we moved. We thought he might have hurt himself. We never imagined he was still in the old house." Marcus's father Robert provided context. Marcus had severe social anxiety and agoraphobia. He'd lived with us his entire adult life, rarely left the house. When we told him about moving, he became very agitated and said he couldn't leave. The parents revealed Marcus knew every inch of the house from helping with renovation projects over the years. He was familiar with all hidden spaces most homeowners never accessed. Despite intensive house searching, Marcus Henderson wasn't found when police arrived. The room showed signs of hasty departure, some belongings missing, bed recently occupied. Police theorized Marcus had monitoring equipment or observed the search through other hidden vantage points. He'd fled before authorities could apprehend him. A manhunt was initiated throughout Riverside County. Marcus's photograph was distributed to law enforcement. Given his limited social skills and agoraphobic tendencies, police believed he wouldn't travel far. The Morrison house was treated as a crime scene while investigators documented the hidden room. The family was advised to stay in a hotel while the house was secured. Contractors examined the entire structure, identifying all accessible spaces that could be used for concealment. They found several other areas showing recent use, including spaces above the master bedroom ceiling and behind children's room walls. The discovery that Marcus had accessed areas near the children's bedrooms was particularly traumatic for the parents. Marcus was found 5 days later in an abandoned house 3 blocks away. The foreclosed property had been vacant over a year, and Marcus had apparently been using it as secondary hideout. When police found him, Marcus was in severe psychological distress. He was malnourished, dehydrated, and appeared to be suffering from complete break from reality. He repeatedly asked about his family and insisted he needed to return home to check on them. "They need me," he told arresting officers. "I have to watch over them. They don't know how to be safe without me." Marcus was transported to psychiatric facility for evaluation. He was diagnosed with severe schizophrenia, agoraphobia, and delusional disorder. Mental health professionals determined he posed no direct physical threat but represented significant psychological danger due to obsessive behavior. The legal case was complicated by Marcus's mental health status. While his actions constituted stalking and burglary, his diminished mental capacity raised questions about criminal culpability versus psychiatric treatment need. The Morrison family never returned to the Maple Street house. The psychological trauma of knowing someone had been watching them intimately for nearly a year made it impossible to feel safe. They sold the house at significant loss 6 months later, after full disclosure to potential buyers. The property remained on market over a year before being purchased by investors planning extensive renovation. The children required extensive counseling. Emma particularly struggled with knowing someone had watched her in private moments. The family moved to a different state to start fresh and minimize media attention. David became obsessed with home security, installing sophisticated monitoring systems in their new residence and conducting regular intrusion searches. Sarah experienced PTSD symptoms and had difficulty sleeping, especially during overnight hospital shifts. The case prompted changes in California real estate disclosure requirements. Sellers must now inform buyers of known hidden spaces or unusual architectural features that could be used for concealment. Rodriguez became an advocate for neighborhood surveillance programs and home security awareness. He frequently speaks about the case at community safety meetings. The Morrison case highlighted a disturbing trend law enforcement had been tracking quietly. Cases of parasitic living, individuals secretly inhabiting occupied homes, were more common than realized. Similar cases had been reported across the United States, involving people living in attics, basements, and wall spaces of occupied homes. Most cases involved individuals with mental health issues who had prior property connection or detailed architectural knowledge. It's the ultimate form of social parasitism, explained police psychologist Dr. Jennifer Kim. These individuals want to be part of a family but lack social skills to form legitimate relationships. They create one-sided relationships with unknowing victims. The Morrison case was particularly extreme due to cohabitation duration and surveillance level. Most parasitic living cases were discovered much sooner, within weeks or months rather than years. Marcus remained in psychiatric custody for 18 months, receiving treatment for multiple mental health conditions. His therapy revealed the extent of his delusions about the Morrison family and his belief that he was protecting them. He genuinely believed he was helping them, reported psychiatrist Dr. Michael Torres. In his mind, he was serving as guardian angel. He couldn't understand why his presence would be unwelcome. The hidden room in the Morrison house contained more than just a disturbed individual's living space, it held nearly a year's worth of intimate surveillance of a family who never knew they were being watched. The case challenges assumptions about privacy, safety, and security of our most personal spaces. For the Morrison family, discovering someone had been living in their walls, eating their food, and documenting private moments represents a violation so profound it changed their lives permanently. They learned home invasion doesn't always involve broken windows, sometimes it happens slowly, invisibly, over months or years. Marcus Henderson's story reveals the dangerous intersection of mental illness, social isolation, and obsessive behavior. His parasitic existence was sustained by detailed property knowledge and delusional belief that his surveillance was protective rather than predatory. The case serves as wake-up call about hidden vulnerabilities in our homes and importance of community vigilance. It reminds us that sometimes the most dangerous intruders never announce their presence, never take obvious valuables, and never leave clear evidence of violations. Real estate professionals now receive training on identifying properties with unusual architectural features that could be exploited. Home inspectors look for signs of hidden spaces and unauthorized modifications. For families purchasing older homes, experts recommend thorough professional inspections specifically looking for hidden spaces, unusual utility access points, and signs of unauthorized habitation. The psychological impact on the Morrison family continues years later, serving as a reminder that some privacy and safety violations leave lasting trauma extending far beyond immediate physical threat. Thank you for watching this investigation into the Morrison family's hidden room horror. Subscribe to Beneath Stories for more cases revealing disturbing realities behind seemingly normal suburban lives. Because sometimes the greatest threats live not outside our homes, but within the walls we trust to protect us.